Well, it's a beautiful morning here in New England. It's the day before Thanksgiving. I love this time of year. Tonight at Grace, we're having our Testimony Slam, a unique service filled with storytelling where we give anyone who wants 2 to 3 minutes to provide an answer to one of two questions. How did you become a Christian? Or how has becoming a Christian changed your life for the better? It's important that every follower of Christ be able to provide a short and simple answer to these two questions, because God will use our storytelling to awaken faith in others. Our testimonies have that kind of power. Of course, sharing such testimonies assumes that Christianity is true. And how do we know that? I get asked this all the time. With all the religions that are out there, isn't it a bit arrogant of you to be saying that Jesus is the only way? And that's a fair question. So how do we know that Christianity wasn't cooked up by the crazy disciples, and then humans with their incorrigible need for religion jumped on the bandwagon, and 2,000 years later, here we are? Because after all, this is what has happened with many of faith, and in fact, this is what has happened within certain pockets of Christianity. For me, the uniqueness of the Christian message, compared with other religions, is a powerful defense for the truthfulness of our faith. Think of it. The Christian life is not an obvious life. It's not something that a person would make up or invent on their own. When humans throughout history went about the task of inventing religions, invariably they came up with systems of belief that were rather simple, that didn't ask a lot of them, that actually put the stamp of endorsement of the gods or God upon whatever it is they were doing. Baal and Ashtaroth, they let the Old Testament Hebrews do whatever they want. Child sacrifice? Sure, chuck your kid in the fire. Temple prostitution? Why not? Only that stingy, mean Yahweh wouldn't let you do stuff like that. And keep these commandments while you're at it. The gods of Greek and Roman paganism didn't care how humans treated each other, didn't care who you killed or made war against, didn't care what you did sexually, didn't care about you, period. Islam throws a few rules your way, these 5 pillars. You hold these 5 pillars up. They really don't compare at all with the life-giving beauty that you see in the 10 Commandments or the richness of the Beatitudes of Jesus. And that's because Islam doesn't demand that you change morally or become a better or more loving person. In fact, in many places of the world today, you can give full vent to your hate and barbarism, and Allah's fine with that. In fact, He'll reward you. Buddhism is especially popular in America today because it's chock full of self-help tips like mindfulness training and meditation techniques, which actually are useful to some degree, but as far as providing actual solid moral boundaries to live by and accountability to our Maker, there's none of that. You can be spiritual and pretty much do whatever you want. In mainline liberal Christianity, which years ago tossed overboard any idea of the Bible's authority, its gospel contains no cross, no sin, and no Savior. They toss the word love around like flower petals, but know little about what real love is all about. Only biblical Christianity and biblical Judaism before that, and really they're one and the same family, only they stood before the world and said, there's this road that God expects us to walk on. And this road is narrow. And it's hard at times. And it's very clearly marked out. And this road is the only way for you to enter eternity. This road is the only road that you can take to come to life. This road is the only road by which you can know God. So you take these one another's that our church has been studying this fall. Jesus said we're to love one another. And rather than this being this Hallmark card, syrupy sort of love that liberal Christians are gaga about, this love is robust and demanding and sacrificial. This love asks that I bring to heel my sin and my selfishness and my pride. And Jesus says we're to serve one another. That's not the way the world plays it. Serve, slurve. It's eat or be eaten in this world. It's look out for number one. The Bible tells us we're to welcome one another. Without exceptions, the world kicks all kinds of people to the curb. Jesus says to us, not so with you. You are to value them. You're to care for them. You're to help them. No. Biblical Christianity is not an obvious life at all. It's highly unlikely that this was invented by sinful humans. It had to have been revealed to us by someone outside of us, someone above us, someone who made us. And this someone does not leave us to guess how we ought to live, but provides a roadmap in a book that he gave us. And then he did us one better by actually coming to earth and modeling in the flesh for us how this life is to be lived. And then this someone died upon a Roman cross to unleash in humanity a forgiveness and grace that it had never known before. And then he rose from the dead to walk alongside us and help us live this life, provided we invite him to lead the way. This is why I think Christianity is true. Well, my friends, have a great holiday. And remember, don't drive while under the influence of tryptophan. Friends, don't let friends eat too much turkey. Talk to you next time.